Alright, we'll talk a little bit about necks and how they mount. This banjo neck originally had a hole right here where the other stick used to mount. I think this one might have had a threaded bolt that I drilled out and filled, and I cut it off. I made this mark here into that banjo, and I re-drilled this and I put this stick into it. Well, this stick's in the wrong place now. It needs to come down just about to where the top of my fingernail is right here. If the stick was a little lower, I could chop part off the top, but it needs to go through the hole in the top of the banjo. It needs to be right about where the top of my fingernail is, which is quite a lot of stick to lose, and it would literally be compromising the part that goes into there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my saw it off. I will put this on that banjo. I'll draw me a new little location here. I'll cut me another stick. I'll drill me another hole, which is the worst part of this, because drilling the hole is always the challenge, is to get the hole, you know, not only in the right place, but get the stick at the right angle. So I'll drill another hole, and I'll put another stick in here and try to get the angle and everything right, and we'll put it on that banjo. That's sort of the plan. Okay, here's my neck with the stick sawed off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on the banjo and draw a mark where the hole is. Here's a square hole right here where the stick goes through. So I'm going to put this on the banjo like this. By the way, that neck angle looks pretty good. And what I mean by that is, well, it might be too much, but I can work with that. Anyway, the neck has to have a right angle for the strings to be at the right height. Otherwise you get all messed up with it. Now what I want to do is, there's a little dip in this ring right here where the neck, and I want it to meet exactly up. And I want it to fall exactly between these 2 points, which it's doing. This neck actually looks like a pretty close fit for this banjo. The main thing to do is hold it in place and get my ink pen in here. Okay, I'll show you roughly about where I think my drill point needs to be. I think when I drilled this I had it over to one side too far. It kind of looks like it's over that way too far. And the center line of this thing runs right about here. I made my X in my square hole and it put it over here, but with the center line there, I'm going to put my drill point right here. I'm going to drill a round hole roughly about the size of this. I'll start with a small hole and we'll go from there. The angle is going to be the next biggest challenge. I'm going to get the other neck out and show you a little bit about what I'm thinking about as far as the angle goes. Okay, at this point in this banjo production, this video is going to take a turn, and I'll tell you why. My brother-in-law Kevin has an old-fashioned wall-mounted drill press. It bolts to the wall, it has a motor on it, you pull the handle down, it goes up and down. When you drill a neck, like I'm thinking about doing for this banjo right here, it's awful hard to get that angle right. And you tell me if you have a lathe where you can slide your thing, you can mount your neck, point your drill bit at it, get the angle all set, and then make your hole. Well, I think you can do the same thing with this drill press. You can mount it down flat on a board. You can set your banjo up, strap your banjo down, examine your neck till you got it just right, put your bit in there, and then drive that bit into the heel of the banjo and get the angle you want. That's really the big trick of banjo necks, and it would take a while to go get that and set it up. But it'd certainly be worth it, because as much as I mess around with banjos, it would be a great tool to have. So I called my brother-in-law, he said, come get it, you can have it, because we trade favors back and forth all the time. So I'm going to go over to his house and get it, bring it back, And then we're going to set it up, and then we're going to see if we can make it work. So that's what's coming up next.